Oh, okay.
I'm gonna make you eat. Are you hungry?
Hey, happy Sunday, y'all. It is good to be home. Good to be back home in the great state of South Carolina. Got home from Florida yesterday. It was about 5 p.m. We left pretty early yesterday morning, and it's really good to be home, back in a routine, back in front of the camera. I've been taking a lot of pictures of sights and food, and I'm going to bore you all with a slideshow today. But yes, hello. I missed my Larrys and my home. I miss my CQ family, and it's really good to get back into a routine. So we're gonna hit the ground running. And I did, did a live today, and last week we had Larry. He was in the live. He took over and did a Q&A. So hi everybody, how y'all doing today? So I'm going to put on my reading glasses. And let's see who is in the chat with us today. Oh, Miss Sarah. Hello. I feel very summery. I'm very sun-kissed. I spent a lot of time in the sun. Oh my gosh. Talk about hot. And here comes the rain. It has not rained all week. It's been so hot, and the rain is finally here. We're supposed to get down into some cooler temperatures. So as soon as I got into the comments, it started raining. I'm really thankful for the rain because my outdoor plants weren't looking so good. Hello, Shelly. How you doing? Miss Susan Boykin. Hello. We have low carb carnivore. How's it going? We got the toothless carnivore and Joyce Butler. We got Sarah, Angela. How you doing? And Kimmy. Hello, Kimmy. How's it going? Miss Holly Law. Yay. Oh, Carnivore Quest is in the house. And Carnivore Quest Larry. Amber, what's up, lady? How you doing today? How's it going? Miss Gail Ivy, Peachy Pam, Laurel. Hello. Hi, Beth. And we got Jeannie. Oh my goodness, so many awesomeness. There's so much awesomeness in this room. What's up, everybody? I'm glad y'all showed up. Hey, Mike, how's it going? We had a nice little chat. Connie says, welcome home, South Carolina. It is so good to be home. But I'll tell you one thing. I've heard so much about how hot it is in Florida. Hot and humid. Yes and yes, but it's hot and humid down here. And yeah, the temps were a little bit warmer as far as the sun being more intense. The difference is there was always a breeze. Always a breeze. Oh my gosh. No, I'm not so sure. Like if you're toward the middle of the state, if you're going to experience the breeze that you do when you're on the coast, but there was a breeze, unlike here, which is almost never. So it's hot and humid down here, but yeah, it was hot. That sun was pretty hot, and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed my my vacation. It was a solid week of fun in the sun, and oh my goodness, it was insane. It was crazy, but we were busy almost every day. I've got some pretty cool stories, and I'm not going to bore you with too many photos. I only got about 100 or so, but we got Miss Limitless Lindy in the house. Do y'all know who Lindy is? And if you don't, I highly recommend checking out her channel. And I know I have looked it up and I could not find it. Now, I don't know if I needed a link. A lot of times, if you have a YouTube channel that is new, it's difficult to find. I don't know why that is, why it just can't be as simple as looking it up as exactly as it's spelled. But she has a pretty incredible journey. Sean, Intentional Carnivore, interviewed her a few weeks ago. If you don't remember that, and if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it, because let me tell you something. This girl has made some leaps and bounds, awesome progress, and it's really cool that she's here today. So, yeah, we've got, oh, wow, so many of y'all in here. It's so good. Hello, Miss Marianne. It's good to see you too. So, yeah, it's really good to be home, and I am absolutely exhausted. We did so much touristy things and sightseeing and walking around, and we saw some really cool sights. And it was my first time ever in Florida. And I got to tell you, at first, as we're driving in, and we're in the Everglades, not the Everglades, but it was just swampy. And of course, I'm on I-95 and I'm looking around. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm not overly impressed, and just kind of checking things out. And then we got to our destination. We actually stayed in Pompano. Now, we did visit Miami. I just told people I was in Miami just because you never know if there's a crazy stalker. But sometimes I try to be a little bit careful about those things. But yeah, we were in Pompano Beach, and Pompano Beach was okay. All right. But once you got into Fort Lauderdale, oh my gosh. And then Miami was really cool. And where else? Oh, Little Havana in Miami was cool. And I made it to the Keys. That was that was the highlight, although I wasn't as impressed with that as I was like Lauderdale, or it had a different beachy vibe and it was really cool. But just the fact that I was that far south, I'm like, man, I could almost swim to Cuba from here. It was really cool. Really, really cool. Just being on that little strip of land. And I don't know, it was awesome. It was really awesome. So, yeah, it was so cool. So let me show you a little bit. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and pull up some pictures and just talk about some of the food that I ate. I'm going to tell y'all I did really good. I did. And I had planned to go ketovore. I'm not sure if many of you remember that. And I would say that I stayed ketovore, but I never counted anything. So, like, we did most of our cooking at home. We only ate out a handful of times. So it was a lot of steak and eggs, bacon and eggs, and it was pretty basic. One thing, and I know this is crazy, and I never got any from a restaurant, was guacamole. I just wanted some guacamole so badly. I'm like, we're in Cuba, or we're in Florida, and there's going to be all these Cuban flavors, and I never got their guacamole. I made my own, but I ate a lot of it, and caramelized onions. I'm just like, hey, I'm on vacation, but I did really good. I did. I'm really proud of myself, considering I know how I can be, and it was pretty awesome. But this is the first picture I'm going to show you. Larry was so proud of this one. I know. Look at that blurry picture. That was me, and that was him and me after I got home, and he was so excited. Larry missed me very much. I missed him too, but he really missed me, and he's like, yeah, show that picture first. So I did. But yeah, it was a little over 10-hour drive. And this is the trio. This is myself, my daughter, Holly, and my son-in-law, Josh, her husband. So it was the three of us who went, and we had this amazing, it was basically a 2-bedroom apartment, full kitchen, everything we needed was there. Oh my gosh. And they got the AC cranking everywhere you go in Miami. You either go in from, the extreme heat, and then there's just this Arctic blast. I was highly impressed with all the air conditioning down there. It's insane. Absolutely insane. But yeah, we had this really cool little place, and I had my own room. I had my own bathroom, and they had a whirlpool tub in their bathroom, so I did manage to take advantage of that. There was a fitness center down there. So this was actually, we were hungry. This is after arriving, and we got unpacked and whatnot. And Josh, this was his pick. He likes a diner, so like a mom and pop's diner. This is actually called the Moonlight Diner. It was just a greasy spoon. And this was my first meal. It was like a deconstructed Philly. So you see, yeah, there's cheese and there's onion in there, and then there's some coleslaw that I didn't eat much of it. It was kind of gross, actually. But that was my first meal, and then went to bed, and then we woke up. I almost forgot that I was going to take a picture. So just something basic. It was sausage, bacon, and eggs. And that was a good majority of our meals, was just eggs. We went through a couple dozen eggs and got 2 big packs of bacon and some sausage, got some steaks. We made a Costco run. Ooh, thunder. I love a good thunderstorm. Oh man, I've been waiting for this. I have been waiting. Here comes Brisket. Now he's scared. Oh, you scared, Brisket? Come here, baby. Our dog Lucky used to hide in the bathroom. But yeah, so after my breakfast, I just did some walking around. Anybody who knows Larry and I, you'll know the significance of this. So I set the chessboard up, and it's his move. And I brought some carnivore essentials, the poopery and the mint flossers. And let me tell you something. Oh, we're going to get into this meal that I had. Only our Facebook family would know. Oh, geez. It was something. It was something. But this was my first time visiting the beach. So this is here in Pompano, and this was our first day, and we just went for a walk. And even though the skies were cloudy, it was really warm out there. It was seriously windy, though. I guess there were like a lot of depressions in the area leading to some serious waves. And we went to the beach a handful of times, and I really wasn't impressed by the color of the water. Well, by our last day, everything had calmed down a little bit, and the waters were so blue, and it was just so pretty. But yeah, I did some sand art while I was there. Oh, CQ fam, I love you guys. I did miss you. I really did. So that was me. I've got video too. I'm doing some Instagram reels with it. I'm not very good at it. I'm still getting the hang of Instagram, but here is just the view. It's like the sky was almost always like that, just cloudy and pretty. I'm not sure if y'all have ever been to Florida, but it's pretty cool. So it's always cloudy, I guess. Always cloudy. But I'm gonna stop there for a minute and oh wait, doggone it. Hold up. Let me hide. Let me get into some comments before I just keep boring you. I really had a lot of fun. I did. It was such an exciting time, such a big, it was a big deal for me being down in Florida. Said I've never been there, and it was awesome. Let's see. I am going to get into some comments. Oh, we got Lady T in the house. Hello, Tirza. Aw, it's so good to see you. It's so good to see y'all. I mean, I tried to make it into like the lives. So the guys had a live that Saturday night, and I was there, and then they had one on that Friday. So I was able to make it from the hotel. I was sitting out on the balcony and just chatting with y'all while I was in there. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to go back a little bit. Let's see. Lindy says, I am looking forward to hot and humid. It has been a long winter. Oh, girl. Yeah, it's your winter time, isn't it? So I'm originally from the Chicago area, and we even lived as far north. We were about 20 minutes from the Wisconsin border. Let me tell you, it gets cold. Below zero. This is the coldest temperature I can ever remember. It was January of 1994, and I had just given birth to Holly, and I was in the hospital a handful of days, but we returned from the hospital, and the day after we got home from the hospital, we hit a wind chill of negative 80. Yes, that's right, 80 degrees. And that was the first time there were really any like warnings to keep your pets indoors. Again, this was 94, so people just did that. But I'll never forget, I was going through postpartum depression, and our neighbor had her dogs outside, and these were mean dogs too. They bark and you couldn't even talk to them, or I tried being nice to them, and then after a while I just started ignoring them because all they do is just bark at you, and they look vicious. But I think they were just starving for attention. But yeah, they were outdoors, and I felt so bad for them. Oh my gosh, I was crying. But yeah, winter. Oh my goodness, no. We're about, well, we're about to get into winter here. It's still August. Winter really doesn't even start until January or February down here in South Carolina, and it's short and sweet. So, yeah. Oh, what is Joyce saying here? I got out of Florida just in time. I am on hurricane mode. We are in the cone. Oh my. Yeah, I thought maybe we might have hit something. I mean, it rained off and on throughout the time we were there. Every day pretty much it rained. But man, it was crazy. And just to see all the homes, right? So we have Rosie in the house too. I'll bring her in front of the camera. All the homes. I didn't see one house with vinyl siding. They were all stone or brick or something. I loved it. There was definitely like a 1950s, almost like a Cuba feel down there with the colors, and it was really, really cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Totally. So everybody who's in Florida and that hurricane season is about to hit you pretty hard, I'll be praying for y'all. I will, because it was a little scary sitting down there, being down there and just thinking what people had to go through and how some of these houses can withstand all of the pressure from that wind. Oh, snap, Rosie. Yay, here she is. Rosie. She missed me and I missed her, a little turd. But yeah. If I don't hold her, this is how it's going to be. She's going to be crawling everywhere. So Rosie's in the house. But yeah. I see a lot of conversation going on. Yeah, Mike says guac. Oh my gosh. We went to Publix and picked it up, and it was awesome. It was so good. I missed flavor. And I think too with that was it was not necessarily a good thing, because I tend to go overboard. And I did. I ate more than just, a tablespoonful or just an accent. No. I made a couple large bowls of it. I sauteed some onions, made some caramelized onions, and had way more than I should have. I'm like, I'm on vacation. It's okay. No, I didn't eat ice cream, and I didn't eat all the desserts. It's crazy. When we were getting ready to leave, we're at the gas station filling up for the first time. And, you see the displays of donuts, and it felt really good saying, ordinarily I would have had chips and Doritos and you name it, a bag full of donuts and all of this garbage food, sugar, chemical, garbage food. We would have had all that and we would have ate it all. And there was none of that. I prepped the night before. I made intentional carnivores eggs, but with my bacon grease and lots of bacon. And what else did I have? Oh, and I grilled some chicken thighs. So we took that for the road, and that's what I did. Didn't have donuts and I didn't have chips. But yeah, I did have a lot of caramelized onion, and I did experience some type of digestive issues. But let me go back to some of these photos. So our second day there, okay, let me see if I can pull this up. This was actually a lot of fun. Our second day, what did we do? I don't know. That might have been, we toured the Everglades and went on a gator tour, right? These are pretty much farm raised alligators that I guess if they get mad at them, then they turn them into gator bites. It's like a zoo for alligators in the wild, right? But so yeah, we did our thing, went home, showered up, and then right across the street, how convenient, Harrah's Casino. And for those of you who don't know, Larry and I were both casino dealers, almost 20 years, craps dealers. And Josh had never been into a casino. And I told Josh, and it'd been a long time for Holly too. I know she certainly didn't remember how to play. I said, okay. I actually had some like smaller layouts. I said, I gave him the basic rundown on how to play craps. And So I tell him, because there's a lot to it, and talk to him about table etiquette and all of that. And well, we get there, and there are about 8 table games, and none of them were blackjack or roulette, or there was no craps table. I'm like, what the heck? So they have all this digital stuff, digital blackjack with this AI dealer. I'm thinking never, ever, because her empathy was so fake. But oh man, oh, you busted. Try again. Add another dollar. Very robotic. So we're just playing around. I'm like, okay, well, if I can't do that, then I'm going to do one of two things. I'm going to play Keno or I'm going to play video poker. Larry loves Keno. We'd play Keno together. And just to be straight, I decided I'm not going to gamble anymore because I just don't win. I have some of the worst luck of anybody. Seriously, I told Josh that I probably wouldn't even be around him during the dice game if he threw the dice, because I don't know. I just think I'm bad luck for everybody. And I know better. So I just got tired of losing. So I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Well, we found a 5-cent video poker game, and I'm playing around with it, and I'm playing, the max 5 coins. And lo and behold, ta-da! Now that is backwards. I held on to the Jack of Spades. That's the only thing I held on to. And if you can't zoom in on that, that is actually a royal flush. So, I mean, I only had a quarter in, but I put a $20 bill in that machine. And that's what I hit for. I was so excited because, again, I never win. So, yeah, I hit a royal flush. I was only like 2 minutes in and of playing it. And I look at Josh, I'm like, shut up. No. And everybody's looking, they've probably been sitting there all day waiting for their hit. And here I come in there, it was pretty cool. That was actually one of the highlights of the day. So I'm like, okay, we're up. Let's go out to eat. Let's treat ourselves to a nice meal. I've been looking forward to seafood, right? I'm like, I'm going to be on the coast, so we're going to have some amazing seafood. And we went to this place in Pompano, and I called ahead of time. It was a Sunday evening. And I called ahead of time, making sure they were still open and asking if I needed to make reservations, because when I looked at the website, they were relatively highly rated. And called, asked if I could. They said, yeah, well, just as long as you come in and you place your order by 8:30, because we're going to close up early. So anyway, the name of the restaurant was the Rusty Hook Tavern, Pompano Beach. It's on the waterfront. And so we sat outside and it was lovely. I'm looking here at the menu, and it's pricey. I mean, you guys know me. I'm a thrift store shopper and I hit the clearance racks, right? So we get there and I really didn't pay too much attention to the price, which is because I had winnings, right? I'm like, this is extra money. So we ordered this appetizer. This is this is ahi tuna with a ponzu sauce. I know, a little bit sweet. And of course, it's like sashimi, which Larry just learned the definition for sashimi, raw. And according to them, I figured it should be safe, because it is freshly caught. And this is the rest of our meal. I got bronzini. Josh got, just fish and chips, and Holly got some braised lamb over here. And we got some Brussels sprouts. And gosh, they put sesame seed on everything. Everything was a little bit on the sweet side. And there's some broccoli in there. Okay. So within like 15 minutes of getting our entree. Now, Holly has food allergies, and she was a little bit concerned for the sesame seeds, and she felt the sesame seeds, like her lips will start to tingle. That's one of the first things, but she said her stomach was hurting. That was one of the first things that started bothering her. And I'm like, okay, well, and then it got a little worse, and we're like, okay. So she ran to the bathroom to go take care of business. And she's in there. Josh grabs the waiter. ask the waiter to box up our food. We have to leave. I pay the bill. Well, or before I pay the bill, and the waiter's already well aware. Not how is she doing? Is everything okay? Was it something that she ate? Was it something that we did? Ba, 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 ba. Can I get you dessert? That was his next question. Can I get you dessert? And I was just like, oh, dude, at this point, I went from being concerned to being a little bit angry. I'm like, really? That's what you're going to ask? Is if you can try and upsell us dessert on our way out while she's getting sick. And Josh said, no, that's okay. I said, no, absolutely not. Well, Holly, he's getting the car from valet, and then he does ask about her, and Josh had told the waiter, he goes, yeah, I wonder if it was a sesame seed. Well, at this time, my stomach starts to feel a little bit off. And by the time we get in the car, it starts feeling a little more off. The drive back to the hotel was 15 minutes away, and it's getting worse and worse. At this point, we're pulling over so Holly can vomit. And so then later on in the evening, Josh is saying that his stomach was bothering him. So that was the only food that we shared, the only food item that we shared. And they were closed on Monday, Tuesday. Anyway, I called the health department because I know I'm Serve Safe certified. I've been in food and beverage. I was a manager. I know how to prepare and how to handle food. I know all of that. And I know when more than one person falls ill, it's going to be something on the restaurant's end, whether it was the handling of the food, the storage of the food. I don't know. The waiter did say that it was on special. Well, we all got sick, and for me, it wasn't pleasant. Holly, she vomited. We went and got her some Benadryl, some Tums, and it didn't come out of my esophagus. It came out the other end. And for those of you I've had some serious digestive, some intestinal work done, plumbing work. And it was not pleasant for the next at least 24 hours. It started to subside. Anyway, long story short, I finally contact them, and the manager's not there. I explain everything that happened, and immediately he's defensive. I'm like, okay, well, and I basically gave him the spiel that I did Serve Safe certified, da, 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 da. So I get a phone call the next day, and this is by Friday. They were closed Monday, Tuesday. I called the health department. Anyway, I forgot to tell you that. I called the health department just to let them know, hey, something's going on. This isn't right. All three of us should not have gotten sick. And so they had like a 2-day heads up, because I did call them on that Monday morning telling them about what was going on, and left them a voicemail message and told them that I called. So they had a heads up to clean everything up, if there was an issue, which I don't know. Like I said, I've worked in restaurants. I know what goes on behind the kitchen. And in spite of what that grade A rating may be, it doesn't always mean that everything's on the up and up. Unless you were working in like Gordon Ramsay's kitchen. But even then, I've seen some pretty, some footage that had me scratching my head that was questionable. Long story short, I finally get a phone call back from a man who claims to be the owner, who I could barely understand a word of, but I didn't. Here's what I got from him. If you would like, I'll give you a $75 in-house gift certificate. I said, well, why would I come back there? I got sick the first time. I said, if I can just recover some of the cash that I paid for my bill, that's fine. He said, no, I won't do that. Oh, okay. I said, well, I'm leaving the next day. He goes, well, we'll take your name and you can use it anytime you come back. So I said, no, that's okay. I will just, I'll leave you a review on Google. So I did. I left him a Google review, and, it was like one of the highlights I was looking forward to was excellent seafood, waterfront, the ambiance was there, and it started off great because I'm on this high because I won our dinner. And, so it really wasn't much of a loss out of my pocket. I was really disappointed in the way that they handled it, because I know how I would have handled it as a manager. Absolutely. Here's your money back. I'm so sorry about that, because the last thing you want is a bad review. And I'm not that type of person. I'll be the first person to give a good review, and I did that too. with actually a Wendy's. I got a picture of that in here too. They were amazing. It was the last meal we had. We're on our way back, and this Wendy's crew was fantastic. I ordered a la carte, bacon, and they were just so friendly, and it was really cool. I'm like, what a difference. Anyway, blah blah. So that was my our story with that. But then we went to the Everglades, and there's a peacock in the background there. And there we are on that very noisy airboat. And and then we went to Miami one day, and that was really cool. I'm just going to get through these pictures real quick. That was a coffee joint that we went to. That was good espresso. Lots of good espresso. A little something from Little Havana. And then this was the appetizer from Little Havana. This is actually one of the restaurants. It's called Versailles. I guess it's like one of the oldest Cuban restaurants, and they're famous for their Cuban sandwich. So that was my Cuban sandwich minus the bread, and it was actually really good. That was cool. And then I'm just going to show you this quickly because this was really, really cool. We went on a boat tour. I'm not sure what picture that is. Oh, no, that's something else I have to show you. All right. I'm going to get by this quickly. We went on a boat tour on an island, and it was called the Jungle Queen. And there was entertainment there, and I didn't show any other pictures. There was like macaws there. That was really cool. That was a highlight. It was 45 minutes through Fort Lauderdale, and that was cool. I enjoyed the tour. I couldn't believe some of the houses and the stories that came from there. But this is just the last thing I'm going to bring up now. There is that place. It's called Coral Castle in Homestead, Florida. Yeah, Homestead. Now I don't know how this man did it. Oh my gosh, what was his name? Lee Skinnen. If y'all know, you're Florida native, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. This was a trippy place. Edward Lee Skellnan. And there's actually more pictures here somewhere. Sorry guys, I am not in the swing of things right now. And I don't know if Larry added it or not, but no, I guess not. There it is. The world's first crock pot. This dude used, talk about innovative and ingenuity. This guy was really smart. He was 5 foot nothing, and he weighed about 100 pounds. And this was the oven that he made. So everything he made was out of coral. And this gate was a 9-ton gate. There's like some type of mysterious, I don't know. I guess he used technology from the pyramids or something. This was built in like the 1920s, I think. He did it all by himself, and everything was made out of coral. I'll definitely throw out a Instagram video on that because that was really, really cool. But some really trippy stories. Dude was a Freemason, and he knew people. But it was a really cool place to visit. The place of Homestead was very, very well run down, and it was kind of sad because they did a really nice presentation, and the tour guide, it just gave us all the background. But that was a very interesting place, and I highly recommend if you go there, you got to check out Coral Castle because it's just something different. It's not a big amusement park or anything like that. It's what one man did for the most part. He did have a little help with some things, and his story of lost love, and it was pretty cool. But that was pretty awesome. So that was my trip. Several trips to the beach, and Miami. The beaches were amazing, and it was just really cool. I enjoyed my vacation very much, but I enjoyed being home too. Or I'm enjoying being home because I'll tell you, I took a great nap today, and I never nap. And boy, oh boy, I certainly did nap today. It was amazing. So, I'm going to get into some comments here, and not just. Oh, wait. All right. So this is a comment. This happened today. I'm not just going to keep showing you pictures and talk about my vacation, although I enjoyed it. And Florida has a special place in my heart now, and I look forward to visiting again. Key West next time. I want to make it all the way down there. But so yeah, even though this was talking about Larry, I know Amber and Dan are going coffee free, caffeine free. I had my last cup of coffee today. Yes, folks, I'm telling you, I'm doing it. I'm going to be doing the Chafee diet, which is the no fun diet. I gave up coffee. So my last cup was about 11 o'clock this morning. And that's it. By now, we probably would have had another pot going, and I probably would have just kept going. So yeah, that's gone. Coffee's gone, and I'll let you know how it goes. But yeah, yesterday Larry put out a video. I'm sure a lot of you saw it, and it was basically a tribute, just telling how our basic background story, how his mother was murdered and how it's affected us and why we are the way that we are. And yeah, a lot of you had asked how the kids are doing, and I just want you to know, yes, they are amazing, and they all have their own story. And we're gonna get a video shot here within the next day or two about how they're doing, and just kind of give you an update. You know, a lot of people are absolutely blown away with our story, and I got to tell you, that was the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more to the story, and we've had a lot more that we've had to get through to get where we are now. Only by the grace of God. Really, that's it. It's only by the grace of God. And I know a lot of people in the carnivore space don't want to hear about God and carnivore. Okay, say whatever you want to say, believe whatever you want to believe, but I'm telling you, with my infinite wisdom, God is real. I know it for a fact. It's something I cannot explain. Okay. And I could tell you till I'm blue in the face, but until you actually do the work yourself, submit yourself, you're not going to know. And you're not going to know that feeling that only somebody who has submitted themselves, you'll never know. Anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox. But yeah, we will be getting a video made this week about that. Also about some food triggers. I'd like to make a video about that too, because ever since, and I'm not knocking it, I'm not knocking anybody who, you do whatever you need to do on your journey. There are different phases, and you're going to go through different mindsets where you're strict or you're loose, and you're going to justify, your food choices. But I'm telling you, I'm at the point, and I've been telling people all along, listen, drink your diet soda, eat your cheese, do whatever you have to do to stay on track, which is fine. That's fine. And for some people, they may need it for a month or two. Some people might need it for 6 months or a year. I think you keep continuing to allow those things into your life, and now it becomes habit. It's not just the crutch to get by. Now it's a habit. It's in your daily routine, like the coffee was. Okay. That coffee with all that cream did me no good. Absolutely no good. I know I'd be at my goal weight right now if not for that coffee. And it stalled me. And dairy. I mean, not just coffee and cream, dairy too. I would allow that into it even when I took breaks from it. But yeah, I want to talk about food triggers because I reviewed a carnivore recipe about a month ago, and it was absolutely delicious. And I really thought that I had it all licked, Oh, I've got this. It's no problem. I put the extra crust back in the freezer, so I did really good. Well, that's what I thought. And then just little by little, the cheese never left. And then I made another pizza. And then now I'm having sour cream, and I'm having this, and I'm having a little bit of that. And it all started to creep back in. So I had to tighten it back up again, And thankfully, I'm at a point where I am, and I've fallen so many times and have slipped that I know I know where this is heading, and I know what I need to do to reel myself back in. Or somebody who's been on it 3 months, and you're feeling dynamite, and you think that you got it now because you're so confident, and then boom, you allow something like that in, and then it's just like a very slow creep. But yeah, that the food, it can come back, and in spite of eating what you think is carnivore, no, definitely not. And we're going to talk about that. So okay, anyway, moving on. Let me get into some comments with y'all. Let me chat with you guys for a little bit, okay? So we've got Ketovore going. Oh my gosh, Gonian. Says, I lived in Tigard, Raleigh Hills area a long time ago, or up in Roseburg. That must be no. There are people who are conversing with one another. Coos Bay. I'm assuming that has something to do with Florida. So anyway, I'll just I'm going to go ahead and go somewhere else. Yeah, she's speaking with Karen, or yeah, Sarah. Oh, Sean, they got the rusty hook in ya. I know they did. Those dirty dogs. I hated the way they handled it. And that was the biggest disappointment, was the fact that Holly not just the fact that Holly got sick. That broke my heart to see her not feeling so well. But it's like, for me, that was like the highlight. Go have a decent meal. And I went above and beyond our means. And my plate was $42. Are you freaking kidding me? I know that's not a lot of money. I mean, for some people, it's so much, but for me, that's a lot of money. But there are people out there who are sporting their $80 steaks on on YouTube. Hey, look at this! I'm at a very expensive steakhouse. Cindy, never upsell a sick person. Very greedy. I'm telling you. I was blown away by that because I had served tables, I've done that before, and you have to show some kind of empathy, just ask how they are. And the last thing you're going to do is try and upsell them some food. I left him a 20% tip, but I am a big tipper. That dude would have got easily 50%, but no, he only got 20. I wasn't going to stiff him because that's not right. But yeah, anyway, moving on from that's old news. But yeah, let's see. You guys are talking amongst yourselves here. Let's see. I don't even know where I'm at in the comments. I think I better go down, at least get something a little more recent here. Let's see. You guys, yeah. Oh, Dukes and Daughters. I love me some Jesus. Doggone. I mean, Larry, he's my tech guy. I need to get more tech with that. And I have to get up to speed because I gave him so many photos, and there were some that I really wanted to show. And one of them was when I was in Miami. It was like an electrical box. Oh, doggone it. It says, God loves you so much it hurts, or something. Somebody just wrote it in marker, and I thought it was picture worthy, and there was some really cool artwork in there. And yeah, my name is Granny Beverly. He is real. He really is indeed. And he's so good. He's gotten Larry and I, the poem Footprints, right? It's so true. Like when we were going through everything with his mom, that he was there. He was there. The footprints were there, and we never knew it because we weren't, even though I had been in and out of church. I was raised Lutheran, and I was even confirmed. I went through confirmation. And yeah, that's it was it's something that I knew, but I didn't know, and I didn't practice, and a lot of times I would feel guilty, but I didn't I never submitted, or I did, and I'd fall back. But I could never understand why I could never just stick with him. Like when we were really going through it, and he was hardcore drinking, and I had nowhere else to turn. I did find comfort in a church, who ended up being crooks. And that's a whole other story. And they kind of led me astray, but my heart was in it. But not, no, it's so much different now because I know when it happened. I know when he finally listened to me, or he sat me down and he made me stay put. I know it. And it's just he's pretty awesome. I've got some stories that, that'll blow you away. And I'm sure y'all do too. We all do. And it's not coincidence. It's just too perfect to be coincidence. Lady T, what you got to say? $80 steaks. Well, I'm eating a $5 roll of Walmart ground beef. Isn't that the truth? Yeah, there's, I think I saw, who was it? Homestead How maybe he was in Chicago. Of course, Chicago. They're going to have an expensive steakhouse. He was sporting his $80 steak. And yeah, I thought, damn, must be nice. But yeah, that $42 fish plate, to me, that's like 5-star dining to me. And I know they weren't. I think they were only rated like, the 2 money signs on your on the Google. But no, that was a very expensive meal for me. And yeah, I'm with you on that, Lady T. That I'm always, I'm at the Goodwill store looking for clothing, and I'm looking for the clearance meats, meat with a yellow sticker, and I'll pop it in the freezer and save it for another day. I'm a budget shopper, and I always have been. And, I'm okay with that. I don't know. I was somewhat embarrassed that I spent $42 on a fish plate. Who does that? Thank you, Harris. But thank you, Harris. We got sick because of you too. But that's only because I won. So that's where my money went. Because that meal would not have been, well, the ambiance anyway. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. What are we saying here? Set up, go wireless. Thank you for sharing that, Cassie, because I'm at a point right now where things are creeping back in. Thank you so much. God bless you. Yeah, they do that. Things are going to creep back in no matter how solid you think you are. I'm almost 3 years in, and my ketovore meals were, I could see that it was a problem. I was not moderating at all because my mindset is, hey, I'm on vacation. I'm feeling pretty dang inflamed and not the best, but, I don't know. It was something. It was definitely something. So no matter how solid you think you are in your journey, unless you're like a Dr. Chafee, which I would love that willpower. I do. I really look forward to the day where I can just have some ground beef and some steak, and I'm satisfied enough with that. The flavors were most excellent on vacation. They were. And now here I am. I'm like, I have to go to this lion diet. And I thought, well, I'm going to do BBB for the next few days and get myself into it. Miss Connie, did Larry have a ribeye waiting on you? No, we had some burger patties though. We absolutely had burger patties, and we're good. He had a package of chicken in there, so chicken thighs. So I made some chicken soup today, cooked up some bacon, back to basics. Here we go again. But yeah, I feel really good about things. But footprints, right? Isn't that amazing? As a kid, I don't know. Even though I was raised in the church, I love my mom. But we went to church, and that was it. That was the extent of it. We did our Sunday. I did my Tuesday night confirmation. And then after I was confirmed, that was pretty much it. We never practiced. We'd say a prayer at night, So the foundation was there, and he was always in my heart, but he was never that much of a part of my life like he is now. But yeah, let's see. Okay. Cheers up. I had a bamboo calendar with footprints on it. It has spoken to my heart since I was a child. See, and we're just talking about that, the difference. I can hear Nemo. Says, yes, I am a mess riding with one foot on the Lord and one foot in the world. Yeah, the evil one is slick. And I think the harder we dig, the more the evil one tries to rope us in. And he does that. And the way things are now, my gosh, I can see how it's so easy for somebody to fall. I really do. I don't know. I just, oh crap, fire alert. Gail, are you cooking again? Oh, what did you think overall about Florida? I loved it. And I really look forward to returning. I would definitely spend some more time in Miami. I've heard some pretty raunchy things about Miami, but where we were at, nah, that was like the Gold Coast, you know. I would certainly go back and visit in Little Havana. There's a different feel. It's like the further south you get, there's just this feel, Cuban island tropical feel. It was pretty cool. I got to tell you something though. There were a lot of people wearing masks down there, and I thought because Florida, they were kind of like the leader of the anti-CVID movement, you know, and leading the charge, that I wasn't going to see that. But these people, again, do what you need to do, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Okay, get yourself vaccinated. I don't recommend it, but hey, that's just me. I'm not a doctor. But my gosh, if you're out by yourself in 95-degree weather, you're walking by yourself outside. I don't understand the purpose of a mask. It makes me laugh every time. And if that offends you, I'm sorry, but it's true. It is true. Let's see. Anna, I'm always so happy to find meat on sale, right? Isn't it like hitting the lottery? You know, I mean, I'm the Goodwill queen. Oh, I almost furnished this whole house with the exception of some items. Decorated it, and everything I try to find, I always go to the clearance rack first. Always, always. So yeah, for me to spend that kind of money, I total bill for 3 people, and we drink water, was $165, and that's a lot, you know. But if it weren't for the casino winnings, I put a $20 bill on that machine. If it wasn't for those winnings, then you know, I would not have went to that place. Mike Shaw TV. Yeah, I know you've got podcasts or something. I haven't got around to seeing it. I'd love to, but religion and politics are my 2 favorite subjects, so I'm not offended. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Politics, I've got a whole different take on that. And you know what? I'm going to tell you. I think for the most part, I think it's a big sham. I do. I don't believe any of them, even though I am hopeful that maybe there is somebody who is actually legitimate. I think a lot of them are behind the scenes and they pat each other on the back and say, "Good show, mate." And they move on and they go back to their thing. Like, this is my thing, okay? And if you're a Trump supporter, that's fine. Go ahead. I don't care. You know, if you remember one of the first debates with Trump and Hillary, you know, missed 33,000 emails. And she said, "Oh, well, if this man was in office, I can't, you know, the debate." And then he said, "Well, if I was in office, you'd be in jail." Okay, fine. She was at like one of his dinners. Her and Bill were there at this dinner and they're joking. And this is months after he was elected. I don't like the congressional dinner. I don't know what it's called. I try not to be too much on that or be too much in a loop of that. But I was just blown away. I'm like, you're talking about throwing this woman in jail, yet she was invited to your dinner. Okay. So that was like one of the biggest red flags for me, which I was always very skeptical. And the fact that Fauci isn't in jail, okay, that was it for me. So I don't believe any of them. That's my stance on politics. I think there are some good people. They start off with good intentions and they really want to, they really mean good. Okay. But I think they easily get sucked into that when you're enticed with brand new cars, very elaborate vacations. It can be so much. It can just taint your judgment. Now you're getting kickbacks, kind of like with doctors, right? And I'm not saying all of them, right? But they all start in their profession wanting to help people, and they're out to save the world. And then the big pharma gets their grubby little paws in them, and they give them this and they give them that. And who was it? Was it Texas Donna put out this amazing posting group about questioning your doctor, and that they should have every single one of these questions. You should have a laundry list of questions as to why they want to put you on these pills. And I bet they couldn't even answer half the questions. So, yeah. Yeah, Lisa. Yes, ma'am. They're all bought and paid for. I totally agree. Who was our last? Let me ask you this. Let's get into politics. Who do you think was the last legitimate president? It's my understanding that they were all related in some way, shape, or form. And it's like there's a bloodline about it. So yours, conspiracy theory, Cass. I concur. Yes, yes. Lisa. No, I won't do it. I heard something about it today that life insurance companies won't, I don't know if this is true. They won't even give you life insurance if you've been boosted and vaxxed. But yeah, I don't know. I'm for all of those. I'm just, yeah, I'm sorry. It's all a big movie. Amen, Mountain Nana. That's all you can do. And the deception's coming when you hear all this, the aliens, right? Now they're taking a back seat to the new CVID. That's making its comeback again. Are we going to go on lockdown again? I don't know. Ronald Reagan. Yeah, Ronald Reagan was your favorite. You know who my favorite was? And this wasn't even in my timeline. Teddy Roosevelt. He's my favorite president. I can't say the same about Kennedy. I'd like to think that Kennedy was on the up and up, and that's why he was assassinated. He was trying to do away with the Federal Reserve, and he wanted to get out of war, out of Vietnam and all that. And I don't know. So, but I absolutely loved Teddy Roosevelt. He was badass. He really was. George Washington. Yeah. Founding father. Reagan. Yeah, maybe Reagan. I don't know. It's interesting stuff for sure, but anyway, let me get off my politics and let me get off my soapbox. But yeah, I wear a tinfoil hat. I believe conspiracy theories, for the most part, they are truth. And if they're not, and they seem so ridiculous, I'll definitely look into everything. I'm not going to discount anything anymore. I can't believe anything that I'm told, especially with the deep fake and the AI and everything they got going on. You can't believe everything you see. And I don't believe the news, not for 1 second. It's not what it used to be. Jenny Adams, it is so good to see you in here, Mama. I'm so glad to see you. So I'm glad to see you back. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. Mr. International Carnivore, Reagan and Calvin Coolidge was the last American president we have had. Yeah, maybe, huh? Uh-oh. Here comes the shadow ban from YouTube, and you know what? It may happen. There's probably gonna be like, you shouldn't talk about those things. And he's right, I probably shouldn't, but doggone, I can't help it. The world is fake. It's so fake. I don't get it. And I think that's one thing that I love about carnivore is people are just real. Most people are real. We got some fame hustlers out there, they're just out there for clout. They've had channels for many years, and you can see that they're just following the trend. Okay. If you do your own research, on some of these newer channels. All you got to do is just a little bit of digging, and it's not hard to see where their motivation is. They're trying all these different ones. There was one, I'm going to name her. She doesn't even have a channel anymore. Candy Frazier. She was one of those fame hustlers, you know, into selling supplements. You could see where her motivation was from. She did a video, you know, with her family in it. So she's exploiting her children, you know, and the question was, they were all digging out these questions. So one of her questions was, oh, what's a goal of yours? And she says, oh, to have 10,000 subscribers or 10,000 followers on YouTube. I'm like, get out of here, lady. We know your motivation. And you go back to your older content. We know where you started from. You're not legit. And she didn't do well. A couple of her videos went viral, and then you could just tell she's not legit. And there's some others out there asking for donations to fund projects and whatnot, but you go back a little bit, just do some digging. That's all. You got to dig. You got to find things out for yourself. Don't take my word for it. You know, you got to find out for yourself. So, yeah. I love you, Larry. Thank you so much. Listen, if we are shadow banned, folks, you know where to find our Facebook group. Well, we'll start there, and then we'll go somewhere else. We've talked about going on Rumble. We've even talked about get our own locals group. I thought there's total freedom of speech. Then I can go. Filters are gone. Filters are completely gone, and I can say anything and everything I want. And that's, yeah. So if that's your 20,000 hours of editing and learning, I'm so sorry, Mamo. I love you. And it's all about God's timing. That's all I can say. But you got to say, Mount Nana says, yes, I look into everything now too. We have to do our research. But most of all, seek God and trust his plan. Yes, yes, yes. And Susan Boygan says, eat the meat and be real. Absolutely. That's really not that difficult now, is it? Joyce, you're on Rumble. Faith to freedom. Faith to victory to, oh my gosh. Don't kill me, Joyce. I'm sorry. I can't think of right now. I just can't. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Put it in the comments. Faith to victory. No. Sean's on Rumble. Yeah, all for that reason. Yeah, I know. We need to get something set up. We didn't get anything set up. I do have something set up for locals. But yeah, we have it set up, but we haven't started anything, you know, because we do get some noise in our Facebook group. We get a little bit of noise, and you know, I'd rather not have ugliness in my private group. Right? We're not charging anybody anything, and I'm in there an awful lot. I put a lot of time in there, and you know, got some pretty ugly comments in there too. And I'm thinking, why would you do that? Just go somewhere else. And I thought, well, locals, you know, people who really want to be there will be there. So I don't know. I hate the fact that I guess we can set our own amount, but I hate that. I hate the fact that we'd have to charge to get rid of, just to do away with the ugly people. Like there was somebody who left a nasty comment yesterday, and a lot of times I'll just ban them, hide their comments, hide them from our channel. It was ugly regarding Larry's video, and I thought, who are you? First I asked why. I thought, nah, I'll wait to ban him first, and let me see what he has to say, maybe, because he's always been a little off kilter. Okay, this guy with his comments. But yeah, he just said something really ugly. So I just said, you know what, dude, just go. I don't want your views. I don't want your comments. I don't want your likes. Don't share any of our videos. Go. And he did. So, and oh, wait, but before he said, cry me a river. And I thought, you know what, dude, if you only knew, I've cried oceans. So yeah, you want a river, that I could do that with a drop of a hat. Yep. Dr. Barry has everything backed up on the sites, Rumble and something else. We're actually working on a website. Josh, Holly's husband, is an IT wizard. Oh, and I got something else in the works for all of y'all. I can't say anything about it because I'm not 100% sure he's going to go for it, but I've been really rallying for him to do this. And it would be good for not all carnivores or all those on the proper human diet, but it could be something most excellent. So we shall see. And, but yeah, we're working on a website. And I just told them, I said, take your time. We're in no rush. But maybe now that we're shadow banned, we might be moving a little bit faster with that one. And you guys can find us there. What is it? Carnivore.quest, carnivorequest.net. I think that's it. It's not up and running or anything. And Holly gave Josh a hard time because there's like pictures of desserts on there. She's like, what are you doing? He's like, I don't know. It was just a stock image. But yeah, so he's like, shut up, woman. I'm not letting you can't go live anymore. Oh man, Tammy, I'm so sick of people being ugly. Isn't that the truth? And it's only getting worse. It's only getting worse. Not diet, lifestyle. Bruce, you're absolutely right. But the word diet is your food and drink consumption. So when I use the word diet, I am merely talking about what I take in every day, not what I'm doing to lose weight. There it is. Thank you, Max. Yep. He didn't just build Coral Castle. He also wrote foundational books on the principles of yes, and components, like the 9-ton gate. So there was that one picture. Let me go back to that real quick. I'm going to show you a picture again. So this was the 9-ton gate. There was some type of an element under there, a particular rock, and you could swing this gate around with your finger. Now it's broken now, and they brought in several architects, I believe, and engineers from the University of Florida to try and figure this out, and they could not. And there's some other pictures that some of the stories are said that he's had alien intervention, or he used alien technology or something. But yeah, this dude was 5 feet tall. He was tiny, and he weighed as much as my thumb. So, and he did this with old car parts and tools that weren't meant to carry tons and tons of weight, and yet they did. So he was a smart man for sure. For sure. No. Oh. Okay, guys. Well, it was a fun live, so I guess this is the last one. We'll see you some other time. Yeah. Yes, Miss Holly. Miss Holly. I will be there with bells. With bells on. Yeah. I'll stay with you guys wherever you go. Thank you. Yeah, I'd have to say that Larry and I, we're decent people. We are. And we started this channel with, I'm not going to lie, for accountability, and it's turned into so much more. Now to me, it's not about us anymore, as it is that we have a responsibility to y'all. So many of you look up to us, and for strength, for encouragement, and best of all, you can go back and find out what not to do. We've got that completely covered. Here's what you shouldn't do. So learn from our mistakes. And that's what started off as accountability for us, which we did need it, because my goodness, this girl, me and my sugar, and trying to keep cancer at bay, I still couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'd still go back to the sugar. I was still putting fuel in the tank. And that's why we said, okay, let's start a channel. Let's go carnivore. Dr. Barry's going carnivore. And then we saw Laura Spath. And I was like, wow, I was amazed. Look at her. Her and Chris, they did so much. He reversed his type 2 diabetes. And that was really what stuck out to me most. And then there were a handful of other channels that it's like, okay, wow. All right. So let's do this for accountability. And honestly, I thought we would have done it in one go, like the Spaths did, like so many other people did. And I've learned that, yeah, you can sabotage your own carnivore diet eating carnivore approved foods, not Chafee. Chafee's carnivore. But yeah, that's okay, there's fires. Fire near me by the prison. I'm in no danger here. Well, I'm glad you're not in any danger, Miss Gail. Yeah. Sing it. Says late to the party, but your husband's live on your history. You two are above and beyond good people, resilient and worthy of imitation. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, we've been tested. We have definitely been tested, and yeah, God is he's really, really something. If he can turn our lives around, because again, Larry and I were in the casino business, and it's a dirty business, you know, and it can turn you into an ugly person and put hate in your heart, and it's crazy. And I remember after Larry got saved, after he went to the Christian rehab and he's home, he got saved. He and I, we weren't in the same place. I still wanted to party because I have my friends, all my friends that I am no longer friends with, right? Gee, I wonder why, because I'm not party girl anymore. Anyway, I remember God, he set me down after my appendix rupture. That's really when everything clicked, because I was down for almost 3 months on the couch recovering. It was a really, really bad recovery process. And that's when he sat me down, and that's when I listened, and that's when everything clicked. So my very first week back, oh geez, this is a testimony I'm going to have to save for another time, because this is truly amazing. And just his handiwork is so evident. But I'm just going to go over this quickly before I get off here. But I worked 8:45 p.m. to 6:45 a.m. My first week back after recovering, after resubmitting to the Lord and really meaning it this time. And I truly accepted it in my heart, and I felt it, and I felt his presence. And I went back into the lion's den, right? And I'm working with these people, and they were making fun of Larry because he was posting scripture on Facebook. And these were his friends, right? People we've known for a long time, 10 years. Oh, Larry, he's a holy roller now. He's this, he's that. I said, you know what? Larry's been through a lot, and he's finally got a little joy in his life. Why are you making fun of him? Why is this so funny to you? And he was pretty silent. And there was another dealer. We were standing on a dead craps table, and we're just chatting about things. And he's nodding with me. You know, he's nodding in agreement. Whether he really was in agreement with me or not was a different story. But I said, Larry's finally happy, and he's at peace. I remember driving home. My brother, he's a pastor. And I called him. It was about, 7 o'clock in the morning, crying to him. I said, Steve, because I felt there was no escape from that business, because the money was too good, and we were already hurting for cash. I mean, we were barely making it as it was. And I remember crying to him saying, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to get out of this business. And, he gave me some words of comfort. I can't recall what they were at the time, but and I'm going to leave this for another time, because this is an amazing story. But that's truly when he stepped in, and that's when everything changed. I mean, everything had already changed, but that's when it just totally, everything was laid out, even though I didn't know it at the time. Everything was laid out, and he really started to work in our lives. He made his presence known. And it was shortly after that I gave them my 2 weeks notice, and we moved down to South Carolina. And that's an amazing story. So you talk about our tragic background. And the lightning almost struck a third time. Let's put it that way. And it's an awesome story how he brought us out of that. And here we are today, talking with you, saved, amazing, doing well, and happy, and as healthy as we can be. And we're on a path to being optimally healthy. So the Chafee way. But anyway, I love y'all. And thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching my boring slideshow. You knew it was coming. This slideshow, everybody gets back from vacation and you're stuck watching the slideshow. You actually, I guess Larry spared you. You can thank him for that because he spared you from about 10 or 15 photos. But yeah, they were really cool. I had some really cool photos that I wanted to share with you. But anyway, I don't want to get off, but nobody else is going to watch it at over an hour. So, Mom, Nana, aw, you sent me a coffee. Not a real coffee, right? From Buy Me a Coffee. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah, Shelly. See, you guys are keeping me on here. I hate goodbyes. I can't wait to hear your story, Shelly. I'm telling you. I mean, everybody thinks our story is amazing. You know, our triumph over tragedy. We've talked about writing a book. We've talked about, you know, maybe getting in touch with somebody to help us make a movie about it because it really is something. I mean, what Larry went through with his sister and then what we went through together with his mom. I mean, and of course, what he was telling you in the video, it's so condensed. I mean, we lived through hell and fear for 6 months, but it's everything after that too. That's just even more amazing. And just, that's really when we saw God's work at hand. And then, you know, oh my gosh, there's so much I want to tell you all so badly, and I can't because it's literally another hour. And yeah, put the movie on. I know. You know, I don't know. It's pretty awesome. His work is amazing, and there's just no denying it. You know, the naysayers, your atheists all say, oh, you know, most people reach to God and they say they find him when they go through a traumatic life experiences. And you're right. I think because some people are just so desperate and their lives are so pitiful that they have nowhere else to turn. And then when they do turn to him and you finally realize it, and you can turn to him all day long, but until you start practicing it and walking the walk and living for him, that's what it's about. You have to live for him. It's not about yourself. You know, like I say, joy, Jesus, others, yourself, in that order. You can't be selfish and be a Christian. You can't. It doesn't work that way. Jesus, others, yourself. And yeah, that's I know he made this channel possible. And I can see him. I can see his handiwork in this channel. And it was about last year or so that I finally saw it. And I saw his handiwork in the channel. And I see it. And it's just awesome. And you know what? If that turns you off, well, you know what? That's fine. We're just not your cup of tea. There are plenty of other carnivore channels out there that aren't like that and that don't speak of it. But I'm telling you that I think the majority of carnivores, if you really think about it, you know, they're believers. And you see the truth. You see the truth just through me. Isn't that crazy? And I think some people are even finding him through carnivore. Because now the rose-colored glasses are lifted and you see what super mega food core is doing and big pharma and the medical industry. And, you know, it brings a lot of people to carnivore. And then once they do, it gets them thinking. It's like, wait a second. But you have to do some digging. You got to do your own research, and you got to find. And I'm getting the word. That's not what I mean by research God. I mean, absolutely, but you'll see everything is revealed. The truth is exposed, and you can't unsee it, and you cannot unlearn it. Once it's there, it's like there's no going back. When you're there, there's no going back. Just like carnivore, right? There's no going back. But yeah. Well, I love you guys so much. You really are my family and my chosen family. And I really do appreciate you. And I love you guys. And thanks for tuning in and hanging out with me. And next week, I have a very special lady on with me. That is Texas Donna. So we're going to be doing some chatting and just hanging out next Sunday. So look forward to that. And I think this Tuesday, I believe so, we are going to have Mr. Dave Mack from No Carb Life. I'm pretty sure it's this Tuesday. Yeah, it is. We're bringing back Tuesday night trivia. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So that's 9 p.m. Yeah, baby. Somewhere. Yeah, he's over there in the background. But yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. And y'all, if we are shadow banned, come to our Facebook, go to Instagram, find us, and check out our sugar laden pictures on our website. It is up and running. We're not on there, but I don't know. You'll know where to find us.
Don't go to the website yet.
No, don't go to the website yet, but you'll know where to find us, because if there's a will, there's a way, and God can make anything happen. So, and just so y'all know, I always pray over our community. That is a fact. So, Lisa, I just saw that you became a member. I didn't want to ignore that. And I just wanted to say thank you so much. And we love y'all so much. And gosh, I hate getting off, but I have to. So you guys have a great week, a great rest of your week. Today is Sunday. It is the first day of the week. So y'all enjoy it and be well. And I love you. And we'll chat. We're going to chat again. We'll see you Tuesday. And yeah, again, next Sunday, we got Miss Texas Donna. She'll be on, and look forward to some videos. We are, like I said, we're going to be doing the videos with an update on the kids. And there's going to be some more. We've been wanting to get our story out. And I think what better way than to tell you, I'll share it with you guys. So yeah, Holly, you're right. We do need to pray for one another. Absolutely. So let's just do that. So pray for each other and pray for this community. Pray for Larry and I so that we can reach as many people as possible. And I'm not talking, we don't want 1 million subscribers. We just want his word to be out there in our very subtle and sometimes not so subtle way. And find your best health and your best self. So yeah, I'm gonna get off now. And thank you again.
Yeah, just keep going.
Larry said I had to just keep going. I know I've been trying to get out for 20 minutes.
There's no time limit.
I know there's not a time limit. I don't know. I still have 120 people in here. I don't know. But I love you guys. I do. I've got some things to do, and I'm so appreciative of y'all. I really am. And it's good to be back. It's good to be back home and back into a routine. But yeah, we got some videos that we're going to film this week. We got the live coming up. So, but we'll be there, and just pray for ourselves. Pray for yourself. Pray for us. Pray for each other. Pray for our channel. And I love y'all. So until next time, no sugar, no carbs, and no cheating. Thanks so much, guys. I love you. Bye-bye. Let me hit this end broadcast again.